J to the on to the Carpenter. Sit down and get ready to sharpen your mind. Get behind, plenty of time. Sit down and get ready, cause it's Carpenter time. My boy JC, not the other JC, although they both have a thing for carpentry. Was born in 1948, the same year as Osborne, a rock and roll great. Moved to Bowling Green, Kentucky at the age of 5. From Carthage, New York, where he was first alive. His father was a professor, music he knew, living in a log cabin at WKU. If you want to know what sparked his love for the screen, it was seeing John Huston's The African Queen. At age 8, he started shooting films with his mates, like Revenge of the Colossal Beast and Terror from Space. Inspired by genre films of the age like Touch of Evil and Strangers on a Train, he made all kinds of movies set in deserts and space, making monsters and aliens via claymation. He went from high school to university, studying English and history, but he transferred, said this isn't for me, and he enrolled for film at USC. Carpenter got his first official screen credit when he worked hard to write, direct, compose, and edit a film about a man who dreams of cowboy life in the city called The Resurrection of Bronco Billy. The film won the Oscar for Best Short Subject, allowing Carpenter to write and direct his own films he was allowed to make instead of climbing up the ladder like Solid Snake. Carpenter, Carpenter, action horror cult classic king. Carpenter, Carpenter.
I'm gonna find out who's the thing.
August of 1970, Johnny met up with a buddy from USC. Dan O'Bannon, you might know his name, a famous screenwriter of Alien fame. The two set out to make a brand new picture, not too worried about the accolades or getting richer. Low-budget science fiction it was set to be as a reaction to 2001: A Space Odyssey. The money was low, but the hopes were high, and luckily Johnny C is a resourceful guy. No composers arose, so John got wiser as an early adopter of the synthesizer. The film clocked in at 45 minutes, so they got some extra scenes to put up in it. $10,000 extra to get up to par, and Carpenter had his first feature film, Dark Star. Carpenter, Carpenter, the final word from action to cut. Carpenter, Carpenter.
President of what?
What seems to be the problem, Griffin?
Oh, hey John Carpenter. I'm just working on this presentation for media analysis, and I'm not really sure where to go next.
Well, have you talked about cinematography?
Cinematography?
Yeah, here. Let's start with lighting. Most of the lighting in my films is low-key and dramatic, heavily utilizing shadow. Take a look at these shots from Halloween, Escape from New York, and In the Mouth of Madness. Notice how overall there's a lot more shadow than light on the characters' faces, establishing the mood, building tension, and making the characters seem more intimidating. Another way I build tension in my films is through the use of close-up shots.
Close-up shots?
That's right! Take a look at this scene from my 1982 film The Thing, about a research team in Antarctica being hunted by a shape-shifting alien that can assimilate and replicate other organisms. In this scene, one of the researchers tests his theory that each cell of the alien is its own organism by collecting the blood of the members of his team and poking it with a hot wire, hoping to figure out who has been assimilated and who's human.
Now you. That's good. All right, move back. Over there. I guess you're okay. All right. Put that on and watch them. Now I'll show you what I already know.
It's a crock of shit.
Let's try the Doc and Clark. Now, Clark.
And Clark was human, huh? Which makes you a murderer, don't it?
Palmer now.
This is pure nonsense. Doesn't prove a thing.
I thought you'd feel that way, Gary. You were the only one that could have got to that blood. We'll do you last.
Thanks, Mr. Carpenter. This gives me some ideas.
John Carpenter's iconic filmmaking style comes from all of his collaborators kept on file. Consistency with actors, lighting, cast, and crew, down to costume designers and gaffers too. A couple notable people in Carpenter's cohort include Kurt Russell, Deborah Hill, and Alan Howarth. And I know it's pronounced Howarth, please leave me be, because who's that knocking? It's Dean Condit. Working in cinematography, the two met on the set of Halloween. They hit it off and decided to get to work and made the thing the Fog Big Trouble and Escape from New York. A key element of John Carpenter's films are close-up shots that linger and let tension build. If you want an example of his close-up strings, then take a look at the blood test scene from The Thing. Scientists in Antarctica doing research find themselves under attack from a shape-shifting creature that assimilates and replicates the research team until no one knows for sure that everyone's what they seem. In the scene, the research team's leader, McCready, has developed a hypothesis each cell of the being is its own animal, like a dog or some fishes, and he collects the team's blood in some petri dishes. As he tests the blood, the audience sees close-ups of the characters on their screens that show mistrust and paranoia on the researchers' faces, letting audiences question if the thing took their places. The close-up shots play another role by ensuring that all of the frame is full. The audience can't look around the room to spot a quiet transformation or impending doom. More close-up shots that Carpenter cooked are in a film about a guy writing evil books. So I hope that everyone paid their respects to Cadmus, because we're about to talk in the mouth of madness. Protagonist John thinks himself a sleuth, but waits to find himself trapped in a confession booth. We see antagonist Cain, in shadows he hides, telling John his evil plan from the other side. The close-ups in the shadows keep him out of focus, conveying the mysterious threat that he poses. What are his intentions? What are his motives? Is he even human, and to what's he devoted? And as for John, the close-ups are used to convey how the booth feels like his tomb. Fear paralyzing his neurotrophics, feeling stressed out and claustrophobic. Not only director but composer of legend, writing scores for almost every single film he's directed. John Carpenter's the man, he's collecting the payment with his minimalistic synth-driven arrangements. With his love of music passed down by his dad, he learned to make some music that wasn't bad. His first film, Dark Star, got a soundtrack for free cause John recorded it all on his VCS 3. John Carpenter's most iconic theme is none other than the one he wrote for Halloween, a defining film of the slasher genre, beloved by millions from New York to Botswana. The melody loops at a significant pace, representing the feeling of being chased, while the rhythm feels off, doesn't let you unwind, feeling choppy and uneven in 5/4 time. John, I don't know if everyone's gonna know what 5/4 time is.
No problem. A 5/4 time signature in music just means that each measure gets 5 beats. Here, let's listen to the theme from Halloween. 5/4, compared to the more common 4/4, gives music a much more off-balance and uneasy feeling.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see what your movies look and sound like now, but what are they about?
I'm glad you asked. Many of my films show a dislike for authority figures, as well as themes of societal decay or collapse. Take a look at the final scene from Escape from New York, a film set in the future where crime rates have risen 400% and Manhattan is turned into the country's only maximum security prison. Main character Snake Plissken has to rescue the president after his plane is hijacked and he crash lands inside the prison. In this scene, the president has been successfully rescued, but many people gave their lives helping Snake rescue him. Snake asks the president how he feels about the loss of the lives of his allies. And the president responds with insincere gratitude, causing Snake to sabotage his offer of international peace.
Radio to head, Mr. President. They know the situation. They're waiting for your broadcast.
Yeah. Hold it. Oh, it's all right. I want to thank you. Anything you want, you just name it.
Just a moment of your time.
3 minutes, sir.
Yes?
We did get you out. A lot of people died in the process. I just wondered how you felt about it.
Well, I want to thank them. This nation appreciates their sacrifice. Look, I'm on the air in 2.5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
You gonna kill me now, Snake?
I'm too tired. Maybe later.
I've got another deal for you. I want you to think it over while you're resting. I want to give you a job. We'd make one hell of a team, Snake.
The name's Plissken.
You're on camera, Mr. President.
Good evening. Although I shall not be present at this historic summit meeting, I present this in the hope that our great nations may learn to live in peace.
I see. I think I know where to go from here. Carpenter's films contain consistent themes, showcasing a distaste for authority, but he's also got other ideas that track, like the dangers of greed and societal collapse. At this point, the road starts to fork, so let's take a turn towards escape from New York, imagining a future where crime rates have risen, so Manhattan's turned into the country's only prison. The president crash lands within the walls and is subjected to the world's largest prison brawl. Let's hope to our film's protagonist Snake to rescue the president and help him escape. President Harker is successfully saved despite the deaths of all their allies along the way. When Snake asks him how he feels about the loss of their lives, he disingenuously thanks them for their sacrifice.
I want to thank them. This nation appreciates their sacrifice.
In this scene, both the audience and Snake feel disillusioned, let down, and betrayed. The president within this movie is not the ideal leader we expected to see. Through President Harker, Johnny's holding up a candle to President Nixon and the Watergate scandal. In the end of the Vietnam era marked by puzzlement and loss of faith in the U.S. government. In the film, Snake responds to the president's cheat by sabotaging his offer of international peace. An immoral, ethically the meritorious plan done for no other reason than to stick it to the man. Through Escape from New York, John Carpenter shows his feeling towards the folks he finds himself below. He's against the system, he's against the machine, anti-authoritarian, anti-corporate greed. Escape from New York and its societal decay, we're gonna go back to the thing but in a different way. Pay attention to the researchers' lack of trust and poor Clark getting shot just for being kinda sus. We see what happens to a small community when an outside force compromises their unity, balancing collaboration and doing their jobs while slipping into the society of Thomas Hobbes. And look at In the Mouth of Madness, his reality bending, apocalyptic, hopeless, fatal, cataclysmic ending, following the story of a horror author whose books turn the public into murderous, axe-wielding crooks. Through the cosmic madness that sweeps the population, Carpenter discusses instances of mass manipulation fed by corporate media and how insanity is simply made or broken by the majority.
No one's ever believed it enough to make it real. The same cannot be said of my life.
A lot of Carpenter's characters in the movies that he wrote follow archetypes of the reluctant hero. No one's acting from compassion or trying to be kind. They're all just making a living and trying to survive. Take, for example, our man Snake Plissken. It's clear that his society could use some fixin', but he doesn't act heroically out of devotion, just avoiding a life sentence and arterial explosion. In The Mouth of Madness, Jonathan Trent is simply doing his job so all his money's not spent. When he learns of the supernatural stuff going down, he grows more concerned with skipping town. Finally, Caruso as R.J. McCready is all or nothing, not concerned with the treaty. He'll put anything at risk just to get back home, threatening others' lives to protect his own. Alright, I think that's about everything. Thanks, Mr. Carpenter.
Anytime, Griffin.
I think I'm about done. Let me just save this project.